Do you ever struggle to speak English or another language that isn't your first language? Hey Lingoni Lovies, my name's Brian.
And I'm Emily.
And in this video, we're going to give you some tips on how to improve your speaking and become more comfortable and confident when speaking English.
I want to start this video by saying it's important to remember everyone knows you're learning and that making mistakes is totally okay. That's how we learn. So, when speaking, try not to worry so much. Nobody's perfect, not even native speakers.
That's right. Next, of course, practice your pronunciation. And there are a couple ways you can do this. One is just by listening to people and trying to repeat how they actually make the sounds that they make. Another way is to look up how certain sounds are made. So a classic sound that is difficult for people in English is the TH sound. Now, we have a video on how to pronounce the TH. This is the kind of resource you can use to learn how to do this. And it tells you the specific technique of putting your tongue between your teeth and making the th sound.
Practicing your pronunciation will definitely help you feel more confident because people won't ask you, "What did you say?" so much. You'll be more understood. And number two, when you feel like you're speaking clearly, you'll have a little bit more confidence to say what you really want to say.
Another thing you can do is really be careful about listening and repeating. So for example, you could take a couple minutes, maybe just 5 to 10 minutes, to listen to one specific part of a video or a podcast and play maybe just one sentence, pause it, and then repeat exactly what they say. This will also help you to remember some vocabulary and grammar, but also get down the pronunciation.
Similarly, you can do something called mimicking. So maybe there's someone on YouTube that you really like their voice or the way they talk. Maybe there's some famous athlete, who knows. Watch their interviews or their videos closely and pay attention to the word choice and the intonation. And do just like what Brian said, stop, repeat, rewind, etc. until you kind of can pick up on the way they talk. It helps a little bit with your confidence because you're mimicking something you already like. So if you like the way they sound and you sound like them, you'll like the way you sound.
That's right. So even if Emily and I are both speaking English, we have different voices. Or if you compare my voice to another man who speaks English, even if his first language is US English, we still just have different voices and different ways that we say things. Now, there are some German speakers who, when I listen to them, I just love the way that their voice sounds or how they say things. So I try to copy a very similar style to make my German sound that way.
Another great way to improve your confidence is to find a friend and talk to them in English. So this friend can be a native speaker, which is great because it's always nice to have input from native speakers, but it could also be a learner just like you. When talking to another language learner, just remember to correct each other when you notice a mistake. That way you don't learn things the wrong way.
And when you're learning from somebody who isn't a native speaker and you're just having a conversation, there might be less pressure or stress to speak correctly all the time.
The important thing is that you speak. So don't worry so much about speaking perfectly. Number one, native speakers make mistakes all the time. I know it sounds strange, but try not to think really at all while you're speaking. Your brain actually knows way more than you realize. And if you let yourself be calm and speak as if you were speaking your own language, you'll be amazed at the words and the grammar you actually know and come up with.
That's right. And as you become a more advanced learner, then you might want to start thinking a little bit more about certain vocabulary you want to use, or maybe some advanced grammar. But especially in the beginning and maybe the intermediate phases, sometimes just speaking without thinking can really help you to just train that speaking muscle.
On that same note, there will be tons of times that you make mistakes. Nobody's perfect, and mistakes are a good thing. Although you would probably love to speak perfect English, the mistakes are what help you learn. Maybe you said something silly or totally wrong or even embarrassing. Did you ever make that mistake again? Probably not. Why? Because it's stuck in your head. It's a memory that maybe was embarrassing, but you learned from it and you're better because of it.
And lastly, make sure to speak every single day, even just 10 to 15 minutes, talking to yourself, thinking of how you would say something in English or your target language. Getting that practice every day is what makes you get better at it. And there have been moments when I'm learning a language, either as a beginner or even an intermediate speaker, where I'm kind of shy or I don't really want to speak. I don't feel like putting in the work or the effort. But in time, as I get to be upper intermediate, there comes a time where I don't really think so much about it, and it's just less work. Can I say everything perfectly or like a native speaker? No. But can I just talk freely? Eventually, yeah, you can.
Just try not to let days or even weeks go by without practicing. If you do a little every day, it really makes a huge difference. The bottom line is, you cannot wait to speak your language. Start now. There will never be a time when you feel ready. It might be hard, it might even be embarrassing, but you'll thank yourself for putting the time and effort in.
So there you have it. Those are our tips for how to speak English with more confidence. Now, is there anything else that you could add to this list that we didn't mention? If so, let us know in the comments below.
Thanks for watching Lingoni English. Don't forget, we also have a Lingoni French and a Lingoni German channel. Head over to lingoni.com to see what our app is all about. There, you'll find more videos, podcasts, interactive exercises, and even a pronunciation tool to help you improve whatever language you're trying to learn.
A bientôt!
Cheers! Pronunciation time.
All right. Hold on! We're talking about pronunciation!
Oh my god.
It is...